So what can you expect from an astrology reading? I'm an evolutionary astrologer. My name is Key Tyler, and I am owner of Astrology in the Wild. And I feel it's super important to inform people what they are going to expect when they get a reading. Generally, when you get a reading, you are going to someone because there is some level of crisis. There's something in your life that you're wanting to solve because it's been plaguing you. And you go and you find your astrologer, you pay the fee, you book your appointment, and now you wait. What do you do in the meantime? I say that while you're waiting for your appointment, you journal. You get really deep into the problem or problems that you're looking to solve. Because while they may not all be addressed during your reading, when there is a energy placed, when there's mantra placed, when you are using your words, when you are putting your intentions into something, that's when the magic starts to happen. That's when the person that you've booked the reading with starts to feel what you're asking for. I mean, this is a very magical connection. It's not just analysis and math. There is a level of spiritual attunement that is beginning to happen between astrologer and their client. So that is why I always say, don't have a reading unless you know exactly what you're looking to solve. If you're having a tarot reading, that's something different. That's bringing a different level of information and knowledge into a conversation. But when we're talking about evolutionary astrology, there is that level of psychic awareness. There is that level of, there's going to be things said that maybe you weren't intending to hear, but for the most part, you're going to get a lot of confirmations about these things that you're looking to go towards. So being aware of, okay, so what are some good dates for me in terms of what to look forward to? So as you're journaling and thinking of some different questions, think about the future. Think about, okay, I am really feeling nervous about this surgery. I'm feeling nervous about meeting with someone. I'm feeling nervous about getting back together with my family and what's going to happen. And so an astrologer is able to look at those times and see how this is going to affect you personally. So not only can you ask a very general question, but you can ask about times and specific areas of the year that maybe you feel nervous about, or maybe you want to feel more informed about. Now, when you actually get a reading, usually with an evolutionary astrologer, we go through our spiel. If you haven't had a reading by us before, we tell you that evolutionary astrology is this modern-based practice, and it's deeply steeped in ancient knowledge that is evolving with all of us over time as there's new planets being discovered, as consciousness levels are reaching their peaks. We as EA, as a group, we're moving along that consciousness level as well. So we explain that to you. We explain that together we are discovering what your life purpose is so that you are able to move in your life and know exactly who you are and where you can potentially go with all of the gifts and talents that you were born with. In the process, we're going to go through the large scope of what your life means. We'll go through the elements, we'll go through the modalities, we'll talk about all these little specific intricacies that make you so incredibly special, so brilliant, so bright, right? And then we're going to start getting into the nitty-gritty. We're going to start talking about, well, this was maybe your situation here, and maybe these are certain situations that you experienced. There is a level of connection that's being made when we get into this stage. So confirming, asking more questions, telling the astrologer that, yes, that's happened, or that doesn't sound quite right, is the right way to go about this, because we're trying to develop a relationship so that we can get deeper into the core of the issues. So that's why I always say, don't come to your astrologer thinking that you're going to be told a bunch of things that you've never heard before. Don't come to your astrologer thinking that they are a fortune teller, because they're not. Well, there is no way of pinpointing the day that you're going to die, or pinpointing the exact day that your baby's going to be born. Because there's other levels of consciousness that we're dealing with. Those aren't things that we are able to account fully for. We can only account for you. So if you're in a relationship that is crap, bring their chart to the reading. Maybe know some of their chart placements. That might be helpful. for your reading because, we're here to help you sift through the issues of life. When it comes to the bulk of the reading, all of us are different. We see things through a different lens because of all of our personal experiences and our own challenges. So that part of the reading is very specific to whom you've chosen. But the ending looks something like, do you have any questions? Do you feel nourished? Do you feel like you got what you needed? And that is the end. Ask for a recording. If there is no recording, record yourself on your phone and keep this reading for yourself. You'll want to listen to it every opportunity you get. When you think you don't know what you're supposed to do, I'm certain that there's something in this reading that you missed that's going to address your questions. Have a wonderful time when you are having your reading. It is sometimes scary, it's sometimes nerve-wracking, but overall, it's something that really opens up your life. How do you know if someone is the right astrologer? You just know. It's like choosing the right person or knowing the right coffee to buy. Sometimes you just know because there's a level of language that's being used, there's a level of connection, familiarity. So choose wisely and have fun with the process. So, what are some things to look out for when getting a reading from someone? I have heard the most terrible horror stories from people who have been scared from their readings, and that is absolutely not what the intention of astrologer is supposed to be. This is why it's important to discern the right kind of people, to know where they come from, if they're properly educated, if their sources are credible, before you go ahead and say, yes, you're my person. Because a lot of times these people that are not walking the way, and this is in every business, so let's just keep that in mind. There is the tendency for people to be taken advantage of, and for prescriptions to be made that don't actually work, and for scare tactics to be used so that you keep coming back for more. So be discerning, make sure that this is a healthy relationship and that you're able to get everything that you need. So I'll end this by saying, if you're looking to have a quality reading, you can have that here with me at Astrology in the Wild with Key Tyler. I would love to have you as a client. But if it's not me, I hope that you choose the most stellar individual who reads the stars. And may you and them have a wonderful connection where you can open, be vulnerable, and discover the beautiful intricacies of who you are. Satnam, blessings, and love to you on your journey.